When your salary enters your account, what do you do with it? Where is the first place that your money goes to when your salary drops? If your answer is you put it in your savings account, this is how I'm looking at you, because your money is not helping you in your savings account. So, on today's episode of Money Monday, we are going to be debunking 5 major money lies that a lot of people, especially Nigerians, have held onto, and it is not helping their finances. So, please stay with me, and then we'll discuss more about these 5 lies and how you can guard against them. This is the Christian Economist podcast, where we talk about faith, about the economy, and also see how we can grow and learn together every day. If this sounds like something you're interested in, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at the Christian Economist podcast. Lie number 1: your money is safe in the bank. So the context I'm talking about here is not physical safety. So in the context of physical safety, your money is actually safe, but in the aspect of the value of your money is not safe in your savings bank account. Let's do a quick math here. Nigeria's inflation rate is currently at 15.93%. That's about 16%. Let's just say 16%. And your money in your savings bank account yields like, let's say 3% per annum. Now, 16 minus 3 is what, 13%. So that 13% captures the value of your money that is being lost. If you do not want your money to just remain in your savings bank account doing nothing, you have to look for alternative means of investing your money. I'm not saying that you should remove everything you have in your savings account. I'm not saying that. However, you can keep an amount of money in your emergency fund, and then you can also keep a greater part of your money in investment. So we'll talk about that in our next episode. Lie number 2: real estate is the best investment in Nigeria. I'm sure a lot of you are shocked as you heard this. While this is not entirely false, a lot of people have positioned their mind to think that if they do not invest in real estate, then they did not have a meaningful investment. It's real estate or nothing. I have to buy land, I have to buy houses, I have to do this and do this and do that. Pause. Real estate is not something that you just enter into without taking an informed decision. Be informed about the nature of land, about the value of the land, about the location of that land. So you don't just wake up one morning and you just say, oh, okay, I need to buy houses in different places, I need to invest, I need to buy land, I need to do this and this and that. You gotta chill, calm down. There are other investments that are highly profitable. Real estate is also profitable, but you have to take a conscious step to gather information before you make a decision. Before you buy land, there are things that people would not tell you that you yourself you are to know. Now the first one is what we call illiquidity. First of all, liquidity is how easy you can convert something to cash. So when we say illiquidity, it means that it is not as easy as it is to convert that asset to cash. So land is highly illiquid, not liquid. So for example, if you need to make a payment, or if you need to pay up a debt that you're owing or something, you cannot just wake up and say, okay, you want to sell the land. No. In fact, even within 3 days, you will not be able to sell that land because there are a lot of checks, a lot of things that need to be done. So it's not something that you can convert to cash immediately. You have to check the market, you have to know the value of the land, you need to know what you're getting into. The second thing you also need to know before you enter into real estate investment is the location. Location is everything. Prices of house at Banana Island or at VI or at Lekki is not going to be the same with the prices of house in some parts of Lagos mainland. You want to know exactly where that land or that building is situated before you even make a move to invest in real estate. A lot of you are buying land in places that even within 3 years or 5 years, it has not appreciated as much as it would appreciate in some other specific locations. So if you are trying to invest in real estate, you need to be very conscious about the location. Very, very important. Don't I not tell you. Another thing you should know before entering into real estate is the carrying cost. Now, if it's a rental property, you have to know that some of these costs, like agency fees, maintenance, legal fees, all those things will eat into the returns eventually. Apply wisdom apply caution if you're trying to enter into real estate investment. And the third money lie is that debt is always sinful. Debt is bad. You need to know that when it comes to debt in economic terms, we have what we call productive debt, and then we have what we call consumption debt. Consumption debt is the kind of debt that you owe as a result of borrowing just for immediate satisfaction. So you just want to get things done. You're not putting that money into any profitable venture. You're not investing that money into anything that's going to yield returns for you in future. That is a consumption debt. Now, when we talk about a productive debt is the kind of debt that comes as a result of borrowing for investment purposes, borrowing for production, borrowing for things that would yield output and that you can use the money to repay that debt. And most times, the productive debt is always expected that the returns on a productive debt should be higher than the cost of that debt and the cost of repaying that debt. And that is because when you're done repaying the debt, you should also have something for yourself eventually. So debt in itself is not entirely sinful. It is how you use the debt that matters. So if you are borrowing, you should ensure that you are borrowing for something productive that can yield even greater returns after you have made the repayment of the loan. What would I advise you do instead? If you want to take a debt, ask yourself 3 key questions. First of all, will this money that I want to borrow produce any returns or income for me? In other words, you're trying to ask yourself, can this money build an asset that can exceed the cost of repaying this loan? If your answer is no, that is your cue to not even borrow at all. Now, the second question you should ask yourself is, can I comfortably repay this debt using my existing source of income without borrowing from another place? If your answer is no, back off. The third question you should ask, what is my reason for borrowing? Is it for productive use or just to make people see that I'm wealthy? If you ask yourself these 3 questions, you'll be wise enough to make a very informed decision. Lie number 4, you need a lot of money to start investing. I don't know how to say this. You do not need a lot of money to start your investment. And this is something that I personally used to think. I used to think that investment was such a big word. If I wanted to invest, I have to look for 500k, I have to look for 100k, I have to look for 200k. No, you can invest with as low as 1,000 naira. Some of you are saying, okay, when I land that big job, I'm going to start my investment. For now, I don't have any money for it. You have money. You have money, so you have to invest. With as little as 1,000 naira, you're able to start your investment journey. Now, let me give you specific and real life examples. If you have Cowrywise, you know that you can start your investment in Cowrywise with as low as 1,000 naira. Treasury bills are government-backed instruments, and you can actually start your investment with as low as 100,000 naira. What are you waiting for? You're rich now. This money is just a small money to you. You don't need something so huge before you can start your investment. That small money that you thought was actually very small when you started is actually going to yield something big for you in the future. Just give it time, and then be consistent with your investment decisions. The issue is not that you don't have money, or the issue is not that the amount is so much. The issue here lies in the habit. Are you someone that you're going to invest today and then tomorrow you are running to remove your money? I used to be like that. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I used to be like that. But then you have to build the habit. That is why it's better that you start now to invest, so that you're able to build the habit over time. Now, line number 5. This one, my fellow Christian, my fellow believer, please do not hold me for this. Line number 5. God will provide. I do not need to plan. God is just looking at you like this. My dear, you need to plan. There is what we call budgeting. And budgeting in itself is actually very highly important. In fact, I recommend, because budgeting helps you to see your finances. It helps you to know exactly your planned expenditure and your planned income. And it also helps you to keep track of your finances. Where is your money going? Now, a lot of you do not even know where your money is going. A lot of you don't even know the things that are eating up your money. And it's one thing for you to have it in your head, another thing to have it planned out and written down so that you're able to keep track of your expenses and your income. God will provide. Fine, absolutely. But then you cannot be financially negligent about it. Now, in economics, there's something we call rational expectation and wishful thinking. Rational expectation is talking about consumers who are forward-looking and they have information, able to make use of that information. But when we talk about wishful thinkers, they have the information, but they don't just want to do anything. They're just sitting down thinking that God will provide now. God will provide. What do I have to do? Now, what should you do instead? You need to trust God with your finances and also have a very detailed plan every month as to where your money goes. Have a budget. You can use Excel, you can use anything that works for you, any app that works for you. Plan and track your expenses. Also remember that you need to save some money. You also need to invest your money. All of these financial tips are highly important and recommended because you might not see the benefits now, or rather the benefits might look small now, but just give it like time. And before I leave you, this week, if you have not created a budget yet, please do so. Have a monthly budget. I can help you with the templates that I use in case you need the templates for that. Just comment below and then I would share the link to the templates I have for your monthly budget. Write down your income, write down your fixed expenses. Thank you for staying up to this point. Now, if this video helped you, I want you to help me and do three things. First of all, please subscribe to our channel and help us grow. Secondly, please share this video to as many people as you think are in need of something like this to remind them of how to track their finances. And thirdly, also like and please comment. Let me know the part that stood out for you. Let me know the lie that surprised you. And let me know if you actually learned something. And also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at the Christian Economist Podcast. This is the Christian Economist Podcast.